Friends and viewers, good day. Nikolai Gogol, a very famous Russian writer, world-famed writer, he had written a short story. The name of this story is The Dead Soul by Nikolai Gogol. So this is about the man whose name is Chichikov, who comes to the town with a servant and settles into a plain hotel room. He then speaks with the local bar manager and learns about the people of high status in town. He uses this information to pursue relationship with various landowners during a party thrown by the governor of the province. These individuals take a liking to him, as he is skilled at conversation and flattery. He is invited to visit estate belonging to two men, Sobokovich and Manilov, and in a few days' time, in the meantime, he speaks to other local officials and develop a positive reputation in the town. Later, Chichikov traveled to see Manilov, and Chichikov finds that Manilov is very pliable and easily susceptible to his charm. He showers Manilov with compliments about his family and land. The two have a lengthy conversation, and Chichikov successfully convinces Manilov to sell him the name of his dead serfs. Subsequently, Chichikov set off for Sobokovich estate, but is thrown off course by inclement weather. His carriage flips over during a thunderstorm, and they are forced to stay the night in the village where they got stuck. Chichikov and his coachman Salifan find a small country homestead and learn that it belongs to a widowed landowner named Koroboka. During a discussion over breakfast, Chichikov realized that many of Koroboka's serfs have died and that he might be able to buy a list of their name from her. He mentions this to her and she is shocked. She is wary of his question, but eventually agrees to sell him the names after he pressures her about it. They haggle about the price, and then Chichikov depart from Sobokovich once again. Chichikov continues his journey and comes across another landowner of the name Nozdryov. Chichikov accompanies Nozdryov home. Nozdryov is known in the town as a terrible liar. Nozdryov gives Chichikov a tour of his home. Chichikov mentions his dead soul scheme, and Nozdryov says he will not sell his name, but he says the following day he will play a game of checkers. With the list as the prize, Chichikov agrees but then refuses to finish the game when he observes Nozdryov cheating. Nozdryov flies into a rage. The police arrive shortly thereafter and arrest him on an outstanding assault charge. Chichikov continues on to Sobokovich. On the way, he comes across a carriage and spots an extraordinary beautiful girl who captures his attention. He finally reaches Sobokovich estate. He notes that it is run effectively and is in much better state than most of the other property he has visited. Chichikov and Sobokovich meet and discuss the dead souls. Sobokovich agrees to Chichikov's terms and bargain for an expensive price. They eventually reach an agreement. word gets around town about Chichikov's plan, and people speculate about the possibility of Chichikov being very wealthy. Chichikov is invited to a ball, and many women take an interest in him. He talks to the young woman he saw on the road and learns that she is the governor's daughter. Nozdryov arrives at the ball and begins screaming about Chichikov's scheme. After the ball, a rumor spread that Chichikov is scheming to kidnap the governor's daughter. Suspicions about Chichikov mount, and he is barred from entering a number of places. He learns that his name has been tarnished and leaves town. Chichikov continues his travels and takes up residence with Tantnikov, a bitter landowner. He continues with his dead soul scheme, making visit to other nearby estate. He subsequently attempt to buy land. Eventually, all of his scheme catch up with him, and he is jailed and put on trial for forgery. He narrowly escaped imprisonment by promising to reform his ways. The novel ends with an impassioned speech from a prince about the future of Russia resting on the upholding of civic duty. So this is the short story written by Nikolai Gogol, The Dead Soul. The characters, there are many characters involved. Chichikov is the protagonist of this novel. He is described as a convening figure who is constantly trying to attain status and wealth. He is an adept conversationalist and says exactly what the other person wants to hear. He is consumed with his mission to purchase the names of dead peasants as part of scheme to make money in a section describing his personal history. Manilov is a landowner who Chichikov visits. He is depicted as a simplistic man who is easily flattered. He is curious about Chichikov's plan to buy the name of the dead serf. Korobochka is a widowed landlady. Chichikov encounters her when he is some terrible with his carriage and is forced to spend the night in her village. She is described as being almost entirely focused on business, as she expressed significant concern about getting a good price for her soul. Nozdryov is another landowner who Chichikov attempts to buy dead souls from. He is handsome, temperamental. Sobakovich is another landlord who Chichikov encounters. He values efficiency and practicality. Plyuskin is a final person who Chichikov buys souls from. He is described as being greedy and cruel. Salifan is a Chichikov carriage driver. The governor's daughter is a Chichikov's main romantic interest. She is described as having good manners and blonde hair. Tantnikov is a landowner who Chichikov lives in the second part of the novel. Platonov is a landowner who Chichikov's befriend. So this is the story of The Dead Soul by Nikolai Gogol, the author of many outstanding books like Taras Bulba and many other novels. Nikolai Gogol, The Dead Soul. Thank you very much for your lives and patient listening.